Hello friends, this is Praveen. Welcome to the course on PHP and MySQL. In my last video, I have discussed about updating a record in MySQL database using PHP form. Today, I am going to discuss about prepared statement in PHP. Before watching this video, I strongly recommend to watch my last three videos on inserting data, display and search a record, updating a record in MySQL database. Why prepared statements are used? It is used to avoid SQL injection. So what is SQL injection? SQL injection is the use of publicly available fields to gain unauthorized access to your database. This is done by entering SQL statements into form fields instead of the expected data. Let us see how to check if an application is vulnerable to SQL injection, and if it is vulnerable, then how it can be done in the application. And in we'll see it in any of the insert, search and display or update form for this. So let us get back to our editor, that is Macromedia Dreamweaver editor. So this is the Macromedia Dreamweaver editor, and this is our PHP projects folder. So within this, we will check how if this application is vulnerable to SQL injection or not. So we'll use our insert proc.php file. Here we can check this thing. We were able to insert every data. What what can happen if I try to insert, suppose Praveen mail, some data which is having a single quote, and you can see here test, just I'm giving the single quote, and this is permitted in the email ID 98765432210, and then password a@a123 a@a123. So submit. So what it is generating, it is not getting inserted. Why? Because look at the statement, what it is generating. Insert into trainees, name, gender, dob, email, mob, pass, values. First is for name, Praveen has come. For gender, M has come, male. For date of birth, date has come. But what about email? Email only this test has come, and rest of the part has become off on. It is uh, it is not associated with any column of the table. So the SQL statement passed to the DBMS is not proper, and it is throwing error. So this is how we can check, because since all the validations have been passed, so it should get data should have been inserted in the database, but it is throwing error. So this is a sign that it is vulnerable to SQL injection. So now we will check in another form as well. Suppose we check here in our UPD update proc. So we will open this search upd proc.php, and if we try to find here, suppose one, we find average data fine. But what if a mischievous user uses one or one? What will happen this time? If we see our update proc.php file and the statement here, select star from trainees where id is equal to $id. So when we pass this information, one or one, so select star from trainees where id is equal to one or one. So this or one will always be true. So it will return all the records from the database, and it will display every record. If we can see here, so it is So this is one kind of SQL injection. So how we can avoid it? So let us get back to our presentation first, then we'll see it in action. SQL injection can be prevented by properly validating user inputs. So it means that uh, uh, if you are expecting a numeric data, then numeric input should be accepted. Rest of the, if end user tries to enter something other than the numeric data, then user should be prompted, some message should come that please enter numeric data, like that. And another is using parameterized query. So first we will see how we can validate user inputs. Now get back to our presentation and this text editor. And here, since from this page, this search page, we expect a numeric data to be passed to this update proc.php. So we can check this in this update proc, and for this there is a function is numeric. So we will use that if is underscore numeric $id. So now what happens, I will check here, and then I need to close this if here, and then else but echo, the message should come, please enter numeric data. And then you want to actually give a uh, give a hyperlink to go back to the search page again. So we'll copy this thing and paste here, save it. Now try to pass this one, use it. If I pass 1, the data is coming. But what if now I pass 1 or 1? So what will happen here? Please enter your numeric data. So this is a use of this is the benefit of validating user inputs. Now all the data is not getting displayed. If I click here, if I pass 2, the data is coming. Now another thing is about parameterized query. So parameterized query prepared statement is the best way to prevent SQL injection. How we can use this prepared statements? What is this prepared statement is? So a prepared statement is a feature used to execute the same or similar SQL statements repeatedly with high efficiency. Because when you make a prepared statement, it is directly passed to the DBMS without being compiled, and so it becomes a little faster and efficient. So prepared statements basically work like this. An SQL statement template is created and sent to the database. Certain values are left unspecified called parameters, like this, and that parameter is labeled as this question mark. Example, so insert into table underscore name values question mark. So that is number of parameters or number of columns to value of the number of columns to be passed. And then the database parses, compiles and performs query optimization on the SQL statement template and stores the result without executing it. So after that, execute. At a later time, the application binds the values to the parameters and the database executes the statement. Application may execute the statement as many times as it wants with different values. So what are the syntax here? First, this is very similar. If it is a select statement, we will check it in the insert as well. So select star from trainee where id is equal to question mark. So $stmt mysqli underscore prepare $con $cmd statement prepared with labeled question mark parameter as a go. Then MySQL I underscore stmt underscore bind underscore param $stmt I $id. So parameter values are bound. S is for string. This is data types. So if you have to pass multiple data here, multiple data is to be bound with the statement, then you have to tell what type of data it is expecting. So if it is you are expecting string data, then it should be S. If it is a double data, then it is should be D. If it is an integer data, then it should be I. If it is a blob data type, then it should be B. And then we have to execute this statement using mysql I underscore stmt underscore execute function. And after execution, if it is a select statement, then the result is to be stored. So where we can store using mysql I underscore stmt underscore get underscore result function. uh, so let us see it in our editor. So this is our search proc we will use here. Then we will get back to our insert as well. So here we'll just comment few things. Here I'm just commenting this part, and we'll insert, we'll add few more lines. So we'll prepare statement. So $stmt is equal to mysql I underscore prepare, and we need, it is requiring two parameters. One is for the link, another is query. So $con comma $cmt. So statement is prepared, the basic template is ready. Now we have to bind the parameters. So how we can bind it? So there is a function mysql I underscore stmt underscore bind underscore param. This is the function used to bind the parameters $stmt comma, and then this is the string data types, and then this is the number of variables, number of parameters to be bound. So there is here only one parameter is to be bound. So we'll pass $id, and then this is integer type, so I. And first we need to change this statement as well. So here we have to pass it as a label data. So this is question mark. So this is a parameter, it is expecting some values. So now this value, this label has got a value from this $id. So now we will execute this statement. So how we can execute? There is a function mysql I underscore stmt underscore execute $stmt. So after execution, we need to store the values. So we'll store $res is equal to mysql I underscore stmt underscore get underscore result and $stmt. So if this statement gets executed, then this function, whatever result is coming, it will be stored in this $res, and it will check if the number of rows is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then it will come into this part. Just save it, and we can check here. 1 or 1. So this time it should throw, please enter a numeric data. If I enter 1, search, that's okay, no issue. Now we'll see in the insert proc how this prepared statement can be used there. to accept this single quote so that it does not throw error. So what we will do again here, we'll just comment few lines and then we will add our statements. So what we can comment here, we will comment this line only and we will add here. Since multiple parameters are passed, we will use that thing. We'll comment this as well and we will use this part. Control C, Control V, and instead of directly passing here, I will pass some labels. So this is the command or command in prepared statement. Now we have to bind, we have to prepare our statement. So what we can do, $stmt is equal to mysql I underscore prepare $con comma $cmd. So this statement is prepared now. Now we have to bind the values. So what we will do here, mysql I underscore stmt underscore bind underscore param, and since uh, and we need to bind it with the this variable $stmt variable $stmt comma, now data types and then the values. So what are the values for these things? We will pass all this dollar name first, then dollar $zen, then dollar $dob, then dollar $email, then dollar $mob, then dollar $pass. So this is right. Now we have to tell here the data types which we are expecting. So dollar name is a string data, gender is again a string data, date of birth is again a string data, email is string data, mobile. This is a decimal, we have used decimal, and so we have to use D double and then S. So this is what everything is working. Now we need to execute it. So we'll execute if mysql I underscore stmt underscore execute and then $stmt. If this statement gets executed, it means data will be inserted in the database. So just save it. Now check if the single quote is returning any error or not. So Praveen mail, some information, some date of birth, then email ID, test @test.in. So here where I have used the single quote. Earlier it was throwing error. Now we will see if it is getting inserted or not, because we have used prepared statement now. So a123 a a123 submit. So form submitted successfully. Now it is not throwing any error. We can see in our database if the data has been inserted or not. So we'll check here in the PHP my admin. So this is the PHP my admin dashboard, and to log in we have to use root user ID. Just let it come first, root, and then there is no password assigned to this user. And this is our PHP project uh, database on which we were working trainees. If we see this test, the single quote. So the single quote has been inserted in the database without any error. So that means now our application is not vulnerable to mm, to SQL injection. So we have seen how to use prepared statement to avoid SQL injection, and uh, we have to properly validate user inputs as well. So in my next video, I will be discussing about file uploading in MySQL database. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, then please like, subscribe and share it.